everyone. I'm so glad you're back to hear our elementary lesson for this week. Today we are talking about families again. Last week we learned about how God created people to be in relationship with Him and with others. God made people to live with families, but it's not always easy to get along with our family members. Last week we learned about how Abram showed his nephew Lot love and kindness when they had a quarrel. And so this week we get to learn about another family, twin brothers Jacob and Esau, and how they handled when they had an issue between them. I have a fun video for us to watch that talks about the first part of our story, and we get to learn about what happened between the twin brothers. So come on, let's watch it together.
Isaac and Rebekah had twin boys. One was named Jacob and the other was named Esau. And even though they were twins, Esau was born first, so he was called the firstborn son. As Jacob and Esau grew up, Esau became an excellent hunter. He loved being outside and hunting wild animals. Jacob was the quiet brother. He liked to stay at home. Isaac, the dad, liked Esau better, but Rebekah, the mom, liked Jacob better. Many years passed and Isaac became an old man. He began to lose his sight, so he called for Esau, his firstborn son.
Esau.
Yes, Father.
I'm old, and I don't know how much longer I've got to live. Go hunt and get me something to eat. And make sure you cook it just the way I like it. And then I'll give you the blessing that belongs to the firstborn son.
Sure thing, Pops. I'll be right back with the biggest and best meal you've ever had.
Now the blessing of the firstborn son was a big deal. It meant the oldest son would get all that the father had, much more than the other sons. Everyone knew this, including Isaac's wife, Rebekah. She heard what Isaac said to Esau about the blessing. She ran and told Jacob what to do.
Listen, I heard your dad talking to Esau. He's gonna give him the blessing of the firstborn son. That means Esau will get everything your father has. Well, I'm your mother, and trust me, that isn't gonna happen if I have anything to say about it. So listen up and do exactly what I say. Go out, bring me 2 goats. I'll make your dad's favorite meal just the way he likes it. Then you take it to him so he can bless you instead of Esau.
Sounds great, but there's one tiny problem, Mom. Esau is hairy. I mean, he's hairy like a grizzly bear. And well, I'm not, If Dad touches any part of my arm, he'll find out I'm trying to trick him. And then I'll be in real trouble.
Don't you worry about that. Let me get in trouble instead. Just do what I tell you. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Jacob went out and did exactly what his mother told him to do. She cooked the meal and covered Jacob's arms with goatskin to make his hands and arms feel hairy like his brother Esau. Jacob even put on some of Esau's clothes. Still, Jacob worried that his father might not be fooled by his disguise.
Hey, Dad. Oh, son. Who's there? Jacob or Esau? I can't see much of anything anymore.
It's Esau. I did what you told me to do. Here's your meal. Now, eat it up quick so you can bless me.
How in the world did you find and cook the animals so quickly?
Oh, well, God just put it right in front of me there.
Come closer so I can touch your hands and make sure you really are Esau. That's funny. Your voice, it sounds like Jacob, but your hands, they feel like Esau's.
Oh, well, I've got a little bit of a cold today, so I probably sound a little funny.
Are you really Esau?
Sure am.
Good. Now bring me my meal and I'll eat it, and then I'll bless you.
Isaac believed Jacob's lies. He blessed him. The plan had worked. Jacob had cheated his own brother out of the firstborn son's blessing. When Esau found out, he was heartbroken and angry. He begged his father for the same blessing, but Isaac could not give to Esau what had already been given to Jacob. Because Jacob cheated his brother, Esau was very angry with him. Jacob had to run away and stay with his uncle in a faraway land.
Okay, but that's not the end of the story. So Jacob stayed with his uncle for many years, but then one day, God told Jacob to go back to the land of his father, Isaac. And Jacob was afraid that Esau might still be mad at him. So he sent a message ahead of him telling him that he was coming and hoping for forgiveness. He also gathered all of these gifts of camels, goats, and donkeys for Esau. And Jacob sent those gifts ahead of the messengers to meet Esau. And when the messengers returned to Jacob, they said, yeah, your brother is coming, but he's coming with 400 men. And so Jacob was even more afraid, and he cried out to God for protection. But still, he went ahead with going home and meeting Esau. And when he came up on Esau, he approached Esau and he bowed to the ground 7 times. And when Esau saw him coming, was he mad? Did he try to retaliate? Did he attack him with his 400 men? No, he ran to meet Jacob, and instead of greeting his brother with anger, he threw his arms around him, and together they wept. And Jacob told Esau, seeing your face is like seeing God's face, because you have accepted and forgiven me. Okay, we probably won't run into this exact example in our day-to-day lives. We probably aren't going to be going around stealing anyone's birthright anytime soon. But we too, right now in our families, have times where we need to ask for forgiveness when we hurt others, and we need to give forgiveness when we are hurt. There's many examples I could think of that maybe we would run into more likely than a birthright scenario, like maybe we hurt someone's feelings with our words, or we disobey our parents when they ask us to do something, or you break one of your sister or brother's favorite toys, or use it without asking, or maybe some of those things have happened to you. And so we know that God knows that relationships with others are not always easy, but God still wants us to love each other and forgive each other when difficult things happen. So I have a few guest stars again this week to help me talk more about forgiveness. I gave them each a verse to read, and they're going to then talk about what it means to them, about how we should treat the people in our families, and how we can treat everyone with love, kindness, and respect, and freely give forgiveness when difficult situations arise. So let's take a listen.
Proverbs 20 verse 3. Avoiding a fight brings honor to a man, but a foolish person is quick to argue. So what that verse means is that it's not good to fight. You'd rather forgive than fight. And maybe me and my brother argue a little too much, and we shouldn't. But you guys should definitely not argue, just forgive each other and move on.
If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. I think that means that we should be kind, no fighting. I like my family, I don't want to hurt them. As Benjamin Franklin once said, there is not a good war and not a bad peace. I think that means like no strife in the world and just peace. I just want it to be peace and no strife. That's what I think.
Great job, guys. Great job reading the verses, and those were great ideas on how we can treat each other. That takes us right into our verse for the week. Here's our verse from Colossians 3:13. This is a coloring page that I've included in your newsletter. If you want to just print it off, you can color it, put it up on your fridge again or in your bedroom, so that you can see the verse as you go on throughout the week as a great reminder about how we can freely forgive others. So the verse is, just as the Lord has forgiven you, so you are also to forgive. Colossians 3:13. And so we know that the Lord has given us forgiveness freely, and all we have to do is ask. And so we too then in return, as a response, can freely forgive the people around us and the people in our family. All right, that takes us to the last part of our lesson, which is the discussion question for this week. You can discuss that with the family who's sitting around you, which is just perfect to do since we're talking about families this week and how we should treat each other. So take a minute with the family around you, pause the video, and discuss this question. What makes it hard sometimes to ask for forgiveness or give forgiveness? So pause the video for a minute, have great discussion together, and then come on back. All right, thanks for coming back. I hope you guys had a great discussion together as a family, and you guys were able to talk about how you guys can freely give forgiveness to each other as you go throughout this week. I hope you guys have a great week. Get out and enjoy some more sunshine. Can't wait to talk to you guys next week. Bye.